Joaquin, welcome back, man. Big fight for you, big opponent, co-main event, full crowd. How does it feel to be days out from that?
It feels good, man. This is something I've been asking for and shouting about, via social media for a long time, to get that big name, to get somebody that I feel like is going to really get the respect that is deserved with all the work I done put in. So now that I'm getting the fight that I asked for, it's a beautiful situation.
Yeah, and if anybody scrolls through your Instagram, they'll see you had talked about Luque, Ian Gary, Kevin Holland.
Name them, I called them out, but with this opportunity coming, I'm just appreciative of Vicente Luque actually taking on the challenge because at the end of the day, no matter if I want to fight him or if the UFC want to book it, the opponent of mine has to take the fight. And I'm just appreciative of Vicente Luque taking this fight.
So what was I'm assuming you were ecstatic when you finally got that phone call?
Man, bro, it's time to make this money now, especially with getting the ranking and putting myself in position to work towards the title. This is what I've been waiting on since I got signed to the UFC, so I'm happy.
Yeah, and I guess what do you feel like this does for you in your career, getting that marquee name, and I'm sure you think you're going to go out there and win on Saturday. So if you do what you're hoping to do, where do you think it puts you?
Not only do I know I'm going to do what I do, right, but the biggest thing is I know what position it's going to put me in when it comes to, just the status of the UFC. And me now getting this ranking and, like I said, being put on route to become a world champion, I feel like I could do so much more, outside of my just career as a fighter. And I can come back home in St. Louis, man, and really put on. So, yeah.
I was going to ask you about that, right? Because you finally get a fight in Atlantic City in front of a crowd, and then they announced that St. Louis event right around the corner too.
Yeah. So we got some big moves for St. Louis, but right now, man, we just focus on Vicente Luque March 30th.
Yeah, and I guess as an opponent, can you break him down a little bit? What he presents to you? Kind of what are you going to be careful of? What are you going to see on Saturday?
It all depends. But I know that Vicente back in the day, how he fights. He's always a pressure fighter. He's going to walk you down, with hard pressure. He's going to take shots to give you one of his. But with the RDA fight, he came in a little different. He was a little bit more tentative. He was on the back foot. So depending on what Luque comes in, I'm going to be more than prepared.
Excited to fight in front of a full crowd again as well?
Yeah, I think it's going to be lit, man. This is my first time being in Atlantic City. I believe it's at the boardwalk, right? Looked pretty big, you know what I'm saying? It looks massive. So just seeing a full crowd there, I think it's going to be pretty ecstatic.
Right next to you. So obviously, along with fighting, fame, you got the money that comes with it, but the ranking is important too. So is that ranking the sole or at least the main reason you're taking this fight short notice?
Yeah. What's short notice?
Well, I guess it's not.
Like, what's short notice to you?
I mean, for me, anything's short notice because I don't fight. But for you guys, I don't know, a month out, it's kind of short notice, right?
This fight came right on time. People didn't know I was preparing for this fight in December already. I had picked Shavkat and Wonder Boy, and I had picked Ian Gary and Vicente to be the fight that if anybody pulled out, that I'd be ready for, And when that did happen, when Ian Gary had his little tummy ache, I was like, all right, bet, let's get it, But Sean Shelby didn't reach out to me. My management didn't reach back out to me, so I'm like, whatever. But let's stay ready just in case, anything. And when I got the call for, March 30th, this fight, this weekend, I was more than prepared to take it because I was already training for it.
And then, you're taking on Luque. I know you're very focused on that fight, but could number 8, Sean Brady, who you're replacing, interest you next, maybe?
After I beat Vicente Luque the way I'm beating him, I don't think Sean Brady going to want to fight me. But we'll see.
And then, that was a good segue into my last question here. Obviously, anytime it's your fight week, we see the incredible knockout over Impa. And I'm just wondering, do you ever get sick of seeing that, or could you watch that all day? Like, what are your thoughts on seeing that on the timeline?
Seeing what? Seeing what?
Your crazy knockout, the back.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be me getting tired of seeing it, I'll tell you that. But, that kick is a beautiful situation for me because that's what started the spark. But I believe that with me, transitioning my career at 170, that's my story now. And that kick, it really doesn't bring any joy or anything to me because that's not my story, quote unquote. My story is becoming a world champion in the UFC. Impa was able to create a great career after that, kick for himself, with winning the PFL title and, becoming a world champion and winning $1 million. But I feel like my story starts right here at 170. Money. Oh,
Sorry to.
boy, we quick.
Yeah, kind of like piggybacking off of like the crazy knockout you had against him. Performing here in Boardwalk Hall, you're performing in a venue where tons of legendary fighters have performed there over years. I guess what's it mean knowing that you could potentially have a moment in an historic venue like this one?
Say it one more time.
What if you have another highlight reel moment? What would it be like having it in a historic fighting venue like Boardwalk Hall?
I mean, to have it here would be amazing. I believe no matter where I fight on the face of the earth, it's always going to be historic. And whatever I leave is always going to be a highlight. So I believe that, when me and Vicente go out there and fight at the Boardwalk, I believe that everybody's going to be excited to see something that they've never seen before.
AC Mike Lopez here. Welcome to Atlantic City.
Hey, man, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
We're glad to see that you're back also, as well as to piggyback the UFC coming back to kind of where it got its ground footing back many years ago at the Trump Taj Mahal.
Okay.
And it's back here for the first time in 6 years, and we welcome you. Just to touch on what the gentleman was talking about, Boardwalk Hall, 1929. It has seen everything. From Tyson to Spinks to Miss America to the UFC, and now to be back again. And it's, I like to say, home. What do you say about that? Again, what are you going to bring that crowd?
I think it's beautiful to be a part of history, man. Be a part of, of names that I've looked up to or I've watched, and be a part of, an organization like the UFC. And now that it's back and now that it's here, it's time for, every fighter on the UFC, man, to show, the crowd and give the people exactly what they want and what they've been waiting on. And that's exactly what I'm finna do come March 30th, this Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Is that it? Woody whoop whoop.